There is currently something going on in the car business that is going slightly under the radar, but not on this channel, and I just have to get it off my chest. It's the redesign of car logos in the last couple years. Car brands have logos, and one could say that it is literally the face of the brand. Design the car in any way you want, express your iconic, dynamic, kinetic, or eco-friendly bullshit design language all you want, most people won't know what the car is until they see the badge. In essence, car makers like to stick for a longer period of time to their badge design. It's what builds up the recognition and familiarity. For instance, the Ford Motor Company has stuck to the same logo since the 1920s, and let's face it, it's a strong brand identity. But some car companies like to switch to different designs every once in a while, sometimes to keep up with the rest, and sometimes to announce that the company is heading into an entirely new direction. Think of a company that is associated with the elderly and suddenly launches performance cars targeted to a younger audience. A new, sporty logo would help create this perceived image. With the rise of electric cars, many established car companies like to present themselves that they've reinvented the electric car, and that they are embracing the future, that they are with the times. And no, they don't do this by adding a little power icon next to it. Because what they do follows the current popular trend of corporate minimalism. This is a movement started by companies like Apple and Google some 10 years ago, where they turned what used to be shiny logos into a flatter and simpler design. But sometimes it goes too far. You may have heard the phrase, "Please don't turn me into an oversimplified logo." It's a reaction to the companies that take the simplification too far, almost to the point where you can't even tell at what you're looking at. At this very moment, the car industry is doing the same thing. In recent years, and right now, many car companies have introduced new logos that follow the oversimplified trend. We are leaving the so-called skeuomorphism phase. Something like that. Think of the shiny and glossy and detailed designs that depict what the thing actually is. Just take a look at these app logos of the early 2010 smartphone interface. In the 2000s and the 2010s, many car companies had logos featuring depth through shadows, shiny surfaces, beveled shapes, and the use of colors. The Volkswagen V and W stick out from the blue background. Cadillac wore a shiny shield with a detailed chrome crest around it, and Lexus wore a shiny L. But as I said, a lot of car companies have released and updated designs of their logos, embracing the flat design by getting rid of the shininess and the beveled surfaces. Let me just show you a list of car makers that have changed their logos in recent years. Audi changed their logo in 2022, dropping the shiny and beveled chrome rings. Cadillac already lost its crest a while ago, but decided to flatten their logo even more in 2021. Volvo quietly changed their logo to a flat design in 2021. VW changed the logo in 2020. Renault has a flat logo since 2021. And Jaguar Land Rover had a unique separate logos for every division, but decided to join them into one flat logo. And I could keep going. In fact, here is a total overview of all the brands that have recently changed their logo and moved on to a flat design. And I challenge you to figure out what these logos also have in common besides having a flat design. Right, they are all black and white. What the hell? Like, I can get into a flat design. If done correctly, it can look quite tasteful, but to completely get rid of color? I hope I'm not the only one seeing this, right? Where is the originality? People like to scream these days that, oh, today's cars all look the same. Well, now you can say the same thing about the brands. It's like they all hired and recommended the same design firm to do the designs for them. Hey, Caddy, say, I see you're wearing a new badge. Where did you get it? Well, you see, Ari, the company is called Monochrome Incorporated. You should check it out and make sure you say Caddy sent you. Now, to put it into perspective, as much as the car logos had a bit more depth and color in the 2000s, there were also a load of brands that all chose the beveled surface chrome ring design, and they effectively looked the same from a distance. And this is a corporate logo, so you'll find it mostly on billboards and brochures. The actual logo on the car, for example, is still made of chrome and has some depth. But still, I find the completely black and flat design to be even more generic. It lacks depth. It's like all the companies are now owned by one massive organization and are nothing but subsidiaries. Not to mention that there are companies that go even one step further, like Jaguar Land Rover, but especially Kia. They redesigned their previous badge, which spelled out Kia completely, and simplified it, made it black and pushed the letters together, joining the I and A and getting rid of the horizontal stripe in the A. According to some, it now spells KN, and I can see why. And this just moves completely into the wrong direction. The average consumer who doesn't keep up with car trends and aren't generally car people, which is perfectly fine, have actually asked the question what these cars with this badge were, as they didn't recognize it. Was this a new brand of some sort? And where did the regular Kias go? And this just shows the problem. Oversimplify your badge and it turns into something your customers can't recognize. And I don't think it'll hurt your sales a whole lot, but it's still a shame. And I guess this is the bottom line of this video. I usually give you something to think about, but I guess you can say that this video is just a straight up rant. For the 10,000th time, I have no problem in updating your logo. Come to think of it, my channel also features a flat and black design. Oops. But I think it's just stupid to adopt the very same design everyone else is doing. It just goes too far, and it makes it anonymous, and destroys the originality, identity, and variation in the brands. I invite you to discuss this in the comments section, and I also invite you to keep a close eye on the car brands that have yet to update the logos, because I guarantee you that some of them will be proud showing their new logo of the future. A future that is flat, dark, and boring.